YouTube, what it do? It's your boy TWV checking in for the NXT recap and review. So, yesterday was NXT's New Year's Evil, and it was a pretty good show to kick off the new year. I haven't watched NXT in a very long time, but I have seen on Twitter and kept up with updates that the landscape has changed drastically. Could be positive, could be negative. A lot of their main superstars, Trick Williams, Obafemi, Jordan Grace, Javon Evans, probably Kalani Jordan, Lola Vice, JC Jane, are all going to get called up if they haven't been called up already. I know Trick and Javon have been called up. Oba's, I'm assuming, is getting called up after tonight. Jordan Grace was said to be called up. They didn't say what brand yet, but let's get into the show. So to kick off the show, it was supposed to be Thea Hale versus Blake Monroe for the Women's North American Championship. Blake did lose this to some controversy a couple weeks ago, and they just built the storyline off of that. So that was to kick off the show, and when Thea Hale was coming out to the ring, Blake ended up just attacking her and beating her up. So they didn't have their match, but later on in the show, Thea Hale did have an open challenge, so we'll circle back to that later. In the after beatdown little segment, Blake did get banned from the building. So for what I've been seeing on the internet, she's supposed to get called up as well. So that's another name that won't be on NXT anymore. But this kind of served its purpose. The controversy may have worked out for both superstars. Thea did get her moment with the belt. A little hot potato moment, but then Blake now didn't have to drop the belt to get called up. So I guess a win's a win. So it served its purpose. So let's get to the next match. The next match was Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dame. So I'm assuming they've had an ongoing feud for the last couple months. So this was the culmination of that feud, I'm assuming, outside of what happened later on in the show. Then again, we may spin back to this feud, I'm assuming. But I liked it. It was a fun-paced match, very enjoyable. Izzy Dame is very slept on, in my opinion. I've been really high on Izzy Dame since last year. Huge fan of her. Has a lot of great work. My only thing about Izzy Dame, she was getting put in a couple big-time moments, and they didn't capitalize on her. Same thing I feel like with Tatum Paxley. Like, they put the belt on her, and then they kind of got it off of her really fast. I feel like she was getting over with the crowd. They could have kept it on her longer. Because not saying I'm not a JC Jane fan, we'll speak about her in the women's championship match, but she doesn't jump off the page for me. Like, she's good in ring. She has a decent promo, but I don't see no it factor there for me. So it's like, it's hard to be a fan of her. But we will continue to dive into that more in the next match. But yes, this was a really great match, fun match, fastly paced. Even though it was a size different, like height wise, it was a really great matchup. They both executed very well within the ring. Tatum Paxley more of the high flying characteristics, and then Izzy Dane was the more of the strong powerhouse dynamic. So it worked out well with both superstars. So it was a great match, and definitely it set the tone for both superstars' year. Tatum Paxley did pick up the win, but at what cost? Because the person you beat ends up stealing your open challenge title opportunity later on in the show. So when we circle back to that, we'll speak about that. So let's get to the next one. So the next in-ring action was Kendall Gray versus JC Jane for the NXT Women's Championship. And this is my first Kendall Gray match I've seen, and man, she is destined for greatness. She is the Evolve champion over there on Tubi, but she's destined for greatness. Like, I haven't seen her cut a promo, but in ring, boy. And this might just be raw talent. I don't know how long she's trained for professional wrestling. She's like that. She is like that. And she put on a great showing. Like I just said previously about JC Jane. JC Jane is really great in ring. So No smut on her name in that department. Her promos kind of are bleh. They're decent, but they, like I said in the previous segment, no it factor for me. She doesn't jump off the page like it. She will be a great mid carder if she does get called up, but I do not think she will be able to carry the women's title and carry the ball as a top level superstar unless she dives extremely hard into her heel work, because I think she is good as a heel. I don't remember her being a face at all on her NXT run. So if she dives harder into her heel work and just turns into like a piece of shit heel like that could just, if she could become a heat magnet, hey, she might have something there, but we will have to see what she has going on if and when she does get called up to the main roster. But this was an amazing match, great action back and forth, high pace, high intensity. Of course, Fatal Influence had the numbers advantage, so that's kind of how the match ended. When Kendall Gray was getting the upper hand and was putting JC Jane in an armbar. Don't know the new Fatal Influence girl's name. She pulled her out the ring on one side, and then Kendall Gray basically suplexed her, and then got back in the ring, was about to hit her finisher, I'm assuming, and then on the other side of the ring, Fallon Henley basically grabbed JC Jane's trunks so she couldn't get hit with the finisher, and then boom, JC Jane hit her with, I don't know what her finisher's called, but basically it's a right hand, and boom, 1, 2, 3 matches over. But the Kendall Gray stocks are extremely high. For me, after this match, I am invested. So I will have to go back and do some research and look at some of her previous matches. I think she was in Iron Survivor this past year. So I'm gonna have to see how she did in that one. But JC Jane, this was this might be JC Jane's best in-ring match, in my opinion. And I've watched a lot of JC Jane's matches, but she was deep in her bag in this match, so I thoroughly enjoyed it. So right now, this could be the best women's match of the year. So far, we're only, what's today, the 7th? We're 7 days into this. So right now at the moment, we have two match of the year contenders, one from Raw and one from NXT today, last night. So with that being said, let's get into the main event. So not the main event, I misspoke. So the next match was the North American Championship Open Challenge. So Thea Hale came out there and was saying she was very disappointed about not being able to face Blake because she wanted to show everyone and prove to everyone that she did deserve the belt and earn the belt. So she was like, since Blake is, got barred from the building, here's an open challenge. Anybody from the locker room could come out there. So the women's locker room did run out there, and then Tatum Paxley ran out there with a chainsaw and basically separated the C and ran down to the ring. But then when she was trying to cut the chainsaw off, Izzy Dame snuck from the other side where the announcers table's at and stole her opportunity. So that sucked because how did the person I beat maybe 40 minutes or less ago still my opportunity? But this is where I guess we build suffering builds character, I guess. But no, I feel like Tatum should have been able to do double duty since Izzy got the double duty spot, but it's like, how do you lose and then get put in the title match right after that? But hey, it was an open challenge, so I get it. Whoever got to the ring first, she got to the ring first. She was smart about it, so hey. So it was a really good match. Same thing about the Tatum Paxley match. Huge size difference. I don't want to say Izzy's 6 foot, but Izzy's like 5'8". So Izzy's maybe the tallest woman in the NXT like roster outside of like Soul and Zarya. So Thea's maybe like the shortest. So the height mismatch, of course, but Thea's just a ball of energy, and she wrestles outside of her body size, just like how Roxanne Perez does. So she put up a great fight. I love the finish. I want to say that Izzy's finisher is is it the Dame Destroyer? Basically, it was a top rope power bomb, but the way they clips right here, the way it ended was just so fire. 1, 2, 3, Izzy Dame's the new champ. So I'm assuming we are going to have Tatum Paxley chase Izzy for the title and beat Izzy for the title. I would have preferred Tatum go back and chase the NXT championship, because now JC Jane doesn't have any challengers unless it's going to be Lola Vice and Kalani Jordan if they don't get called up. But I'm assuming they're going to get called up because there's no such thing as a draft anymore. We didn't have a draft last year, and it doesn't look like we're having one this year. They're just calling people up now. I guess they don't want to have the draft thing anymore. So hey, it is what it is. But with that being said, let's get into the main event of the evening. In the main event of the evening, it was Leon Slater versus Obafemi for the NXT Championship. And a lot was riding on this match. If Leon Slater did win, he would be the first non-contracted WWE superstar to win a WWE Championship. And for Obafemi, essentially his undefeated streak was on the line. We're going to put an asterisk next to the undefeated streak because personally, when Ricky Saints beat him, I did like Ricky Saints winning, but it was pointless if we were going to go this route regardless. We're not going to jump to the ending of the show. But when we do, we'll circle back to that moment. But, man, I want to say they started at 9:45 and they sprinted for 10 minutes. 12 minutes. It was a sprint. They got to it. And man, Leon's I haven't talked about Leon Slater because I haven't been talking about NXT matches lately. But Leon Slater is great. Like I've been tapped into Leon Slater for the last year and some change. He's phenomenal. So when he gets out of the WWE, if Javon ain't a single champ by them, put them in a tag team together and let them boys go crazy for a little bit. Because those two, like from what I seen that Saturday Night Main Event, those two guys have it. They have it. Like Leon Slater is just insane, bro. And I want to say he's like 21, 22 as well. So for him to be that young and that athletically gifted, like those boys are the future. Obafemi's the future too. Because, man, Obafemi, right here, before I dive more into the match, Obafemi, when he gets called up, don't even call him up. Just have him show up at the Rumble, break the Rumble record for eliminations, and win the Rumble, and then we go from there. Don't even put him on a specific brand till after he wins the Rumble. Like that's my dark horse to win the Rumble. Like you want to hot shot somebody into the main event, that's the guy. Braun's already there. So if you want to make a new superstar, Braun will be the superstar on Raw. So I'm gonna guess Oba will have to get put on SmackDown. Yeah. Hot shot him to the top out the gate. But this match, like I said, was a sprint. Leon was jumping around, flying around. Oba, I don't know what type of strength Oba gets on that slap outside the ring. Whenever he's outside the ring and somebody's running across the apron and he just swats them down like a fly, like you can hear that impact through the screen. And I've been there multiple times to hear it in person. It sounds like a shotgun went off. Like, that's how hard he slaps that person in the chest. Like, Obafemi's that dude. But, man, Leon Slater does some of the craziest things I've ever seen in the ring. Montez Ford used to do this, but I don't think Montez does it as gracefully as Leon. I'm not going to lie. Leon's so insane. He goes to one turnbuckle, is full-blown sprints and jumps over the other turnbuckle and flips onto the person outside the ring. Like, it's insane. Like, Leon Slater's gifted. Like, I definitely enjoyed this match. This could also be, like, up there in match of the year contention. Even though it was like a 10-minute sprint, it was like you were locked in because it was so much action. So Leon did go for the 450 Swanton. Oba got the knees up. Oba hit him with the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3. So Oba retained, but then at the end, Ava was talking to the Evolve roster and some of the younger NXT not crowd but roster. It was just saying how everybody got called up, so this is the new land of opportunity. Then Robert Stone ran in to interrupt and asked Ava did she see what Oba did. So Oba has officially relinquished the title, which means he is getting called up. He left the title in the ring, and then it panned out to show Tony D'Angelo in the crowd staring at the belt. So I guess Tony D'Angelo will be around NXT even longer. So I guess him and Ricky are going to be the two pillars at this moment, because I guess we're never going to get a Tony D'Angelo call up. Tony D should have been called up 2 years ago after Philly, per se, in my personal opinion. But hey, we shall see. But with that being said, this is the recap and review of NXT New Year's Evil. I'm going to try to rate every show this year. So out of, now I don't remember what I did for Raw. If this show is out of 5, I give it like a 3. If it was out of 10, I give it like a 5.5. Cause I don't remember how I rated Raw. I don't know if I rated Raw out of 5 out of 10. But with that being said, it's your boy TWV checking in and checking out. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.